The nurse stared at Tasha's shoulder, then dropped the ultrasound probe. The cold gel slid down her skin, but Tasha barely felt it. The room went quiet. The only sound was the steady beeping of the monitor, each beep hammering into the silence like a warning. On the black and white screen, under layers of grainy gray, something moved inside her. It wasn't a twitch. It wasn't a muscle spasm. It was a slow, deliberate shift, like a tiny creature changing position, searching for space. The doctor leaned in, squinted, then jerked back from the screen, eyes wide, and called urgently for another doctor. Tasha lay there, heart pounding, flimsy gown open at the back, fingers gripping the edge of the bed. She had walked into this hospital telling herself it was just a stubborn pimple. Now 2 medical professionals were staring at the monitor like it held a nightmare. "What? What is that?" she whispered. No one answered. Their silence was louder than any scream, and what was living under her skin would haunt this hospital for years. Before we dive deeper into Tasha's terrifying story, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. And if you're new here, click on the subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. Tasha, a 36-year-old nursing assistant, was the kind of woman who held everyone together while quietly falling apart herself. She worked long shifts at a small community clinic, lifting patients, changing sheets, smiling through back pain and headaches. At home, she was a single mom to 2 kids, and the dependable daughter everyone called first, her aging mother, her siblings, even cousins who just needed a little help. Her morning started before sunrise: coffee, prayer, breakfast, school prep, then a rush to drop the kids off and get to work on time. Her own health lived at the bottom of her to-do list. One evening, after a long day, she noticed a small bump on her upper shoulder while changing clothes. It looked like a simple pimple, red, raised, a little tender. She squeezed it gently. A bit of fluid came out and she wiped it away without a second thought. "Just a breakout," she muttered. "Too much sweat, too many shifts." She put some cream on it and moved on. But over the next week, it didn't go away. The bump hardened and spread slightly. It felt like a tiny stone under the surface. Clothes rubbed it and made it burn. Sleeping on that side felt wrong. Still, she told herself it was nothing. She remembered a time she had ignored severe stomach pain until she collapsed and needed emergency care. Back then, doctors told her, "You should have come sooner." She had promised herself she'd pay more attention. Yet here she was again, repeating the pattern over something she kept dismissing as small. If she had gone to the hospital that first week, this story might have ended quietly. Instead, weeks passed. The pimple turned into a lump. It grew thicker and wider, pressing from inside like a knot that wouldn't loosen. When her bra strap slid over it, pain shot down her arm. Her kids began noticing her winces. "Mom, why are you moving your arm weird?" her son asked. "You're making that face again every time you sit," her daughter added. Tasha brushed them off with a tired smile. "Just sore from work," she said. Old age creeping in. At work, she dropped a chart when a sudden sting stabbed through her shoulder. She forced herself to laugh it off, but when she got home that night and changed for bed, she studied the lump in the mirror. The skin around it was red and slightly swollen. A faint, darker dot sat in the middle, like a scab that refused to heal. She pressed it gently. It throbbed. "Tomorrow," she told herself. "I'll get it checked tomorrow." Tomorrow turned into the day after, and then another excuse. Finally, after a night where the throbbing kept her awake and made her eyes tear up, she went to the clinic as a patient instead of staff. The doctor looked at it, quickly, pressed once, and said, "It's just an infected pimple or small boil. Take these antibiotics. It will go away." No tests, no scan, no deeper questions. She left feeling embarrassed for even worrying. But the pills didn't help. The redness stayed. The hardness stayed. And then a new sensation arrived, the deepest itch she'd ever felt. It wasn't on the surface. It was deeper, as if something under the skin was brushing against nerve endings. At night, lying still, she felt twitching from inside. Not constant, but enough to make her breathe faster and hold her shoulder. It felt like something alive. She told herself she was imagining it, stress, anxiety. But the feeling kept returning. One night, unable to take it anymore, she stood in front of the bathroom mirror, turned sideways, and lifted her shirt. The lump was larger now, the skin stretched and faint veins visible around it. The dark center looked more pronounced, like the eye of a bruise. She reached back, pressed her fingertips gently into the middle, and waited. After a second, something inside pushed back. The surface of her skin rippled under her fingers, a slow wave, then stilled. Tasha stumbled forward, catching herself on the sink, heart racing. She flicked the light off and on, as if that would change what she had just felt. Her shoulder burned. She called her teenage daughter in. "Can you look at this?" she asked. Her daughter studied it. "It just looks red," she said. "I don't see anything moving." "Mom, you're freaking yourself out." Once again, the strange movement refused to perform for anyone else. Alone in the dark, Tasha started questioning her sanity, but the sensations grew bolder. Some nights, she'd wake up with the clear feeling of something slowly sliding under her skin. Have you ever felt something was wrong in your body, but people around you said it was nothing? Eventually, fear pushed her back to the clinic. This time, a different doctor examined her. He pressed around the lump and frowned. "This doesn't feel like a simple cyst," he said. He ordered an ultrasound at a larger hospital. The earliest appointment was 3 days away. Those 3 days felt endless. She went through the motions, getting her kids to school, going to work, cooking dinner. But now every itch, every poke, every invisible crawl under her skin felt like a countdown. At night, she dreamed of insects building tunnels under her flesh. She'd wake up clawing at her shoulder, only to find intact skin and a lump that never stopped reminding her it was there. Her mother suggested home remedies, hot compresses, herbal pastes, even pricking the lump to let the bad stuff out. Tasha refused. Something deep inside her said, "Don't touch it, don't pierce it, you'll make it worse." That instinct might have saved her life. By the time the ultrasound day arrived, the lump was bigger and angrier. The skin felt hot. The strange internal movement came less often, but more strongly when it did. The hospital waiting room was packed. When her name was called, she followed the nurse into a cool, dim ultrasound room. The technician chatted as she applied cold gel to Tasha's shoulder and moved the probe. On the screen, gray shapes appeared, layers of tissue and shadowy forms. Then they reached the lump. A distinct rounded mass showed up. The nurse pressed slightly harder. The mass jerked sideways. Her face changed. She zoomed in. The mass wriggled. She nearly dropped the probe, fingers shaking, and called the doctor. He came in, looked at the screen, leaned closer, then quietly said, "Freeze that." He zoomed in on the sack-like shape, its internal lines, the way it seemed to move within its own pocket. His eyes widened. "Oh my God," he whispered, then quickly composed himself. To Tasha, he simply said, "We're going to talk in another room." What they had just seen on that screen was far more than an infected pimple. In the consultation room, the doctor explained what the images showed: a foreign,